Americans have started to take advantage of these underground accounts and how you can do it too. Hi, I'm Bob Irish, reporting to you from Palm Beach, Florida. I'm here today because I've been part of a special investigation that's uncovered what I believe to be one of the biggest banking conspiracies of the last 50 years. The scandal we're going to expose today is so big and wide-ranging that practically every man and woman in America will be affected by it. It involves all the biggest banks in the country: Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, as well as thousands of smaller community banks and credit unions. All told, about 4,000 banks are in on the scheme. But this has nothing to do with banks stealing money from their clients, as they recently did in the small European country of Cyprus. And it also has nothing to do with the big bailouts many of America's biggest banks received a few years ago. No, what we're going to cover today has to do with large, secret transactions that have been taking place inside America's banks for years now, all behind closed doors. These transactions are allowing bankers to earn between 30 and 40 times more interest on their money than what they're offering you, the general public. And yet almost no one in America knows this is happening. In fact, banks aren't talking about this, not on TV or the radio or in the papers. And it doesn't matter how much money you have invested or how long you've been a client with your bank, they'll likely never tell you about these accounts in person either. In a minute, we'll feature testimony from an ex-banker who told us about these secret accounts and how they work. Because so few people know about these accounts, and because they sound too good to be true, this man even agreed to sign a sworn affidavit to prove what he was saying was true. And what he revealed was shocking indeed. While most Americans, and especially retirees like me, are struggling to find decent yields on their money right now, bankers across the country are secretly using 770 accounts, named after the IRS code that allows them to exist, to earn up to 30 to 40 times more interest on their money, all 100% tax-free. To put that in perspective, that's the difference between earning $100 on your money in the bank and being taxed on this amount to boot, and earning $4,000 tax-free in one of these special accounts. In fact, these 770 accounts are so powerful, some people have even started draining their 401ks to invest in them instead. Here's what one man told us.
Before I discovered this account, I was racking my brain about how to safely grow my family's money. The crash of '08 really spooked me, and we lost a ton. That's when I started searching for a safer alternative and found out about the banker's secret. Since then, I haven't lost a minute of sleep or a single dime. My money's just gone up and is on pace to reach tens of thousands of dollars. I've even cashed out my 401ks and put all my safe money in this account.
While very little information about these accounts ever reaches the general public, one Wall Street Journal article did slip through the cracks a few years ago. Here's what it said. The 770 account, and I quote, has become a tax shelter for the rich. It gives the affluent tax advantages far beyond those available to middle-income people through a 401k or IRA. End quote. The 770 has become a tax shelter for the rich because the money accumulated inside this account grows tax-free and can be withdrawn completely tax-free without penalties of any kind. But it's not only rich people who are allowed to take advantage of this account. As part of our
All right. Yeah, this video can go on, and then we'll be here listening. Wow, but we're gonna go live right now. We're going live. Good evening, everybody. How you all doing?
Wow.
Amazing. What a nice evening. Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 7 p.m. Central Time. We are going to have an amazing session. I'm your moderator, Dios Mukama, Executive Director in our beautiful, amazing platform, Xperia Financial Group. And I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Thomas. How you doing tonight?
Uh, Dios, it couldn't be a better night. This is going to be, I feel the energy in the air. It's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Wow, wow, wow. So before we start, I want to say that I'm here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Can everybody hear this call? Type in the chat where you are tuning in from. We want to see how we are across the country, maybe in North America, like Canada. Let's start. Let's start now. Say just Utah, Texas, Canada, Quebec, whatever you are. Represent your city, represent your state. Wow, we have people from Georgia, have Texas, Chicago, Dallas, Texas. We have people from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Wow, Minnesota. Welcome, welcome everybody. It's amazing night, guys. What can I say? Tom, tell us what we have here tonight.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell you what, before we get started and jump into the financial education, I just give me a moment to talk about something bigger. And that's the mission behind what we do. The other day at church, I was reminded of what it means to truly be a mission. And missions are more than just knowledge. They're about taking action and impact and legacy. There is so much more to us. But to step into it, we must be willing to go into the darkness and shine the light. And that's exactly what we do at Trusted Future. We shine the light on financial education into a world where too many families are struggling in the dark. We tell our stories, we share the knowledge, and we empower others to create a secure future. So the mission is simple, but it's powerful. We educate communities about money so people can make informed choices. We use products like IUL so families can save smarter, they can grow their wealth and protect their future. And we break the cycle of financial struggle because the Bible says we should leave an inheritance to our children's children.
That's right.
So this isn't just about financial education, it's a movement, a modern day mission to help families build security and break free of financial certainties. So I encourage you to, number one, get involved, to learn and apply what you hear tonight, and to take on the mission to help others understand these powerful tools. And finally, just let your light shine and share this knowledge with families, friends, and community.
Yeah.
So let's get into it and
Yeah.
and
Wow.
build a trusted future for everybody.
Exciting, exciting. Again, keep typing in the chat where you're coming from because I see people here, Canada and then Puerto Rico. Wow, we have people from Puerto Rico. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Everybody is welcome in this session tonight. So, what do we have here? We have two segments, two sessions that you're not going to miss. We have two amazing speakers tonight. And like Tom said, we're going to break it down, what we're here for, what people need, right? We're going to break it down. So starting with the one amazing speaker, Tom, if you allow me, I'm going to introduce amazing champion here who's been helping families across the United States and Canada, Executive Director, Patricia Geiger. Please take the floor, and then we're going to hear our next speaker, our keynote speaker, after you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Dios. Wow. What an outstanding introduction, right? Wow, wow, wow. I didn't think I was that amazing. But anyway, I'll take it. Thank you so very much. And I just want to take a moment really to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in tonight. We welcome you and we are happy to have you. I know we have plenty of people here have seen strange names, not familiar names, because you were invited here to an amazing evening that is really going to help you, make informed decision to secure your future, right? And that is the mission that we are in. Again, thank you so very much. And of course, I want to, say thank you so very much to a great, amazing person here, Mr. Can you finish it up for me, Dios? Oh my God, I'm just so excited.
Senior
Darren Golka.
National
Oh Lord, there he is. What an
Director.
amazing. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation, Darren. That means a lot to us. Okay, so without wasting much time here, I'll share my screen. One moment for me. Just stay tuned. All right. All right, I'll share my screen right there. Okay. One moment here. You know, when you're so excited like that, that's when everything starts happening and going KY, right? But here we are, trying to move. Can you see my screen, guys?
Not
No.
yet.
No?
Oh,
Yes?
okay. Oh,
Yes, you can? All right, there we go. Thank you so very much. Appreciate your patience. Okay, so who am I? My name is Patricia Geiger, and I'm tuning in from Raleigh, North Carolina. And I am going to be the host for you guys tonight. Who am I really? I'm a financial educator and a speaker who is so passionate about empowering people to build a secure financial future. With a strong background in financial services, I simplify the complex concepts into practical steps, making financial literacy accessible to everyone. And my goal here tonight is to inspire and equip others to take control of their finances with confidence and clarity. So, what are we here to do? We're talking about money, right? Talking about finances and how to actually make sound decisions, to secure your future or to plan better for you tomorrow. Power of choice. These are the companies that we have a privilege to contract with, right? So depending on a client, we have these companies that are tailored for each unique client's needs. So I'm sure if you look at this list, you can see some of the companies maybe that you're already doing business with, such as Transamerica or Athene, F&G, Alliance, Ethos, and so forth. So I'm not going to waste much time here to talk about this. So we have a privilege to work, we are, independent financial advisors. So we just choose which company is best for each client, okay? So financial education is what our concentration is going to be here tonight, right? What is financial education? Most of the time, we know that this education is not taught in schools or colleges. It is in a session as this tonight, where you're going to hear a whole lot of, ways and means and systems in place that will enable you to secure your tomorrow. Okay, so we have a system, I want to tell you that has been put in place for us and tools that we have been given, right, by the government. And those are the tools that majority of the population is using. So I want you to look at these two different families here. There's family A and family A. Let me start with family A, right? What is family A? So family A is the Middle Americans, and that population is 95%. And majority of us fall under this family or this category. We make $100,000 or less. We have a job. We put money in the bank. We have a term life insurance. We are renting a home, or maybe we have a mortgage, which we are still making payments on. And how do we secure our retirement, our future, or what account do we use for our retirement? Most of us are using 401k plan. And we have a lot of credit card debt. We have minimal tax advantages, no advisor, no plan, and that's majority of the population. We just use the system or the tools that have been given to us, and these are the ones that maybe our uncles, our aunties, our friends, that are using, and then we fall prey because we think this is the best system. Where when you cross over to family B, they have a different system, different tools that they're using. And this is only the 5% of the population called what? The wealthy Americans, right? They make $250,000 or more. They are business owners. They have, they have diversified portfolios, which I will, elaborate and maybe simplify it for you as we continue with this presentation. Also, they have a permanent life insurance. Wow. Look at family A. I'm just going to take you to family A for a little bit. They have a term life insurance. There's a difference. Just, hold tight and I'm going to explain to you the difference. They also they own their own homes, meaning what? They've paid off their homes, and they also have index account. Remember the video that Dios played for us in the beginning, talking about the 770 accounts, which has been kept a secret from us for so many years? Those are the accounts here, or the account here, that we're going to be talking about. In family B, they're debt free. They have maximized tax advantages, and also they have a financial professional, a financial advisor, like me here tonight, right? Educating people about money fundamentals, educating them what really an index account is. All right. So moving forward, this information here requires what? This is financial freedom. We all want financial freedom. This is why we are working and we are saving money or securing our money, for retirement in a 401k, and stuff like that. Why? Because we want to be financial free one day when we are not able to work, even right now, right? But majority of us are working and have been working for so many years, long hours, multiple jobs, and yet we are not financially free. Why is that? That is going to be the topic here tonight. So I hope you guys are ready, excited. And if you don't have a notebook or a pen, please do yourself a favor and grab that, because there's going to be a lot of very, very important and valid information that you need to write down to follow up, with the person that invited you here tonight. So it is important to gain knowledge, right? Because without knowledge, you're really doomed, right? You'll be doing the same thing that But here we are trying to deviate from, being in family A and crossing over to family B, where the wealthy Americans are, the informed Americans are. And we have to develop a financial discipline, right? Very, very important, because discipline is what keeps us on track, if motivation fails. What else? This is just not a feeling or an emotion. We are here to make a decision, to take a decision, right? Nobody's going to do it for us. It has to be within you yourself to say, look, I want change. And for change to happen, a decision has to be applied, okay? An action has to happen. Financial principles of successful people. What is that? Let's talk about that, right? So financial principles, here are they, right? There are majority of them. I'm going to number them here. As you can see, they're populating over here, right? We have one principle that says make money, but never lose money. By the way, this is an account, okay? These are the principles of an account called an index account, all right? And these are the principles that is under that umbrella of an index account, right? And these principles are a direct quote by, Warren Buffett. Majority of us have read his books, or maybe we've seen him on, social media talking about finances, talking about money and stuff like that. So what are they? Number 2, look at it. Never forget rule number 1. Number 3, management fees versus no management fees. What are they talking about? This is an account that they make sure that they are not paying no management fees. This is an account where it enables you to do what? To grow your money above the inflation rate of 3%. And this is also a principle that allows you to avoid double taxation. We're going to talk about taxes as we go on, because we have to be able to understand the tax bracket, how it really does work. Whose responsibility is that? Yours, you and I, right? Another principle is that this account is flexible and it's liquid, meaning whatever money you have in this account is yours, and when you need it, you can access it. No stipulations. That's a great principle. And the compound interest is also another principle that they really take very seriously. The question is that I have for you tonight is, where are you saving your money? Where is your money growing? Which vehicle are you using? And is that money growing using a compound interest strategy? Stay tuned and I'm going to tell you more about compound interest. This is going to be an amazing evening, guys. I hope you guys are ready. I'm very excited. Social Security is another principle, right? Where we have to understand how this is taxed. Where is your money, right? Where are you putting your money? That will actually determine how Social Security is being taxed. Another principle is that they have chronic illness and critical illness riders here, right? In this principle. And we all know that those two, critical and chronic illness, is really a number one cause of poverty and bankruptcy in America and Canada. Do you have an account as this? And the last principle is it talks about estate and the probate court, which I'm going to talk more about it, right? I hope you're following and I hope this is really making sense. Let's dive into financial independence number. What is that? What is the financial independence number? So I have a graph here that shows 3 different phases, right? The phase of accumulation, distribution, and then transfer. These steps are technically telling us, that there's a time where you have to save money and the time where you have to now start using that money, distributing it, right? And then transfer. One day when you are not there, where is this money going to go to? Okay, so let me just show you here. I don't want to make it too complicated for you. All right, let's look at the calculation. What is the FIN number, right? So the life expectancy here, this graph tells us is 80 years. And that is a real, that's the fact, 80 years. So I'll give myself as an example. If my current age now is 40 years, right? How many more years do I have left out of 80? Simple math, that's 40 years. Let's look at the calculation. We all have monthly expenses here, right? Where we have to pay our bills, we have to pay our mortgage, our rent, taxes, or, health insurance, phone bills, electricity, student, fees for the kids, food, and all that. How does that amount to? In this case, I'm giving myself as an example, I'm spending $4,000 a month. That's my monthly expenses, all right? So when you multiply that by 12, which is yearly, that gives us how much? 48,000. Now, we're not factoring the inflation and everything. Let's just make it simple, go to the calculation. So for example, now that 48,000 that you have to have every year, you times that to 40 remaining years. Now, Patricia have to have at least 1.9 million. Do I have that money right now? No, I do not. Will I have that money, when active money is not actually, I'm not depending on that? What will happen? So I have a solution here for you, right? If you have, for example, every family is different and their expenses are different. Now, just look at this example. This is me now, right? I would need 2 million for me to be able to have that money saved up somewhere in this account code as an index where it will continue to give me the quality of living that I had without depending on, money, like active money and everything, because now I'm not working. Do I have that an account? So to follow up with the person that invited you, ask them these questions and let them sit down with you and then do the calculation and see what you can qualify for. Okay. So this is just something that all of us have to bear in mind, that we need to have, this account set up for ourselves for tomorrow, for our retirement, because we're all not going to work forever, right? Basic rules of money. Remember, we're talking about money tonight, so don't get bored here. It's a money, kind of meeting. It's money fundamentals. So here is 3 ways of how money grows. There's a fixed way, or a fixed vehicle, you can call it, or a fixed account, which has a strategy there on the top, as you can see, right? It's a straight line. So if you have money growing in that vehicle, and the interest rate is 0.1%, that's all you get. If it's 1%, that's all you get. It's fixed. But when you look at the second vehicle called the variable, right? It also has a strategy. It tells you exactly how it functions. How does it function? Very risky, if you had to ask me, because it's very volatile. It's going up and down. This is an account that is entwined with the stock market. You have no control over this account, right? So if the stock is doing good, the stock market is performing well, everybody is happy, they're making money in their 401ks and all that. But let me tell you, when the stock market is sinking and is doing really not so good, where there's war in Ukraine or there's COVID happening, we all got affected where we lost money. This happens in this kind of a vehicle called the variable. But I want to introduce you tonight this index account that has been hidden from us for so many years. And this account has been used by the great Americans, the Kennedys, and just to give an example and everything like that, right? The Rockefellers, this is an account that they used. This strategy, as you can see, is an upward kind of growth. There's no going down here, meaning, remember Warren Buffett says, make money and never lose money. This happens in this account. So the question I have for you tonight is, where is your money growing? Is your money, are you using a fixed vehicle? Are you using a variable vehicle? Or do you have an index account, an index vehicle that has that compounding that we were talking about strategy? If you don't, please follow up with the person so they can help you set you up for this account. Here, I want to talk about the rule of 72. So I have different buckets here that shows you of interest rate of each bucket. And that rule of 72 actually determines or helps us to understand how our money is growing using whatever interest, is linked to that bucket. So with 4%, you can see that it takes 18 years for that 4% to double, right? If you had 10,000, this is 10,000 with all the accounts, and it's starting at the age of 29. When you look at 6%, doubles every 12 years, and at 65, that bucket has 80. At 8%, it takes 9 years for that money to double. At 65, they have earned themselves what? 160,000 using that 8% interest rate. But look at the last one here, okay? The 12% that you can qualify for, right? 12%, which doubles every 6 years. Guys, this is amazing. When you look at the growth, the strategy of this account, and you look at 65 years of age, look at how much money the person has earned. Look at the interest, how the money has grown, compounding factor. To me, this is all what we all need to understand. And majority of us really don't know that there's an account such as this. If you don't have this account tonight, it will be a time where you have to really make drastic measures here. You have to make those decisions to follow up with the person who can really help you to obtain yourself this account. And what about taxation? This is very, very important for us to understand the taxation bracket. The first fixed vehicle, as you can see, that is taxed annually. The variable is a tax deferred account, meaning you're not paying taxes now, but at the end, you're going to pay a high tax bracket. And the index account is a, tax-free account. There's no taxation whatsoever, right? So let's look at the simple interest here versus compound interest. I'm not going to waste much time because we talked about the compound interest. And Albert here has a great definition. This is how he defines it, that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it ends it, and he who doesn't pays it. How have we been paying compound interest in family A, guys? A lot of those credit cards, the mortgages, student loans, if you have those, car payments and all that's compound interest. But here, they're trying to teach us now to say there is such a vehicle called what? Index that will grow your money using that compounding factor. So look at these two vehicles over here. We know that the simple interest is merely the 10%. On the bottom there, you can see 100% growing at 10% interest. The 10% interest of 100,000, which is a principal that you would earn, and that's it. But when you look at the compounding, even the compounding itself tells you what? That it compounds, on top of the interest and interest on top of the interest. So starting out with 100,000 in both buckets, but when you look at the performance at the end, because the compound interest compounds over the years, simple interest have only earned you 500,000, and that's a variable account. Remember when I talked to you about the variable that it is a tax deferred account, meaning Uncle Sam is going to say, look, Patricia, it's not 500,000 that you're going to get. Hold on a minute. Let's do some calculations because I need to get my share. That's the taxes. But for the person who was smart enough and informed, who used an index account and was compounding their money, at the end of their 40 years or their working years, they have 4 million over. Do you have such an account? This is mind-blowing, guys. How do you want to retire? Do you want to retire using the buckets that you're using, earning simple interest? Or do you want to put money in an account that will compound for you? This money is going to work for you. Even in your sleep, this money is compounding. And then your future will look bright. Why? Because now you have 4 million. How many people in our community are retiring with such an amount? Majority of us are not. That's why we are 95% in that family A. And our mission is to educate our community so that they can be aware of such an amazing and great account. Like we said, an index universal life. So when we talk about this, right, we talk about a policy. And that policy is called the index universal life. This is not that policy that we all know, the insurance that we know that only has a death, a crown of a death, right? It's not just a crown of death, but this has all these great benefits, right? Under that umbrella. So the IUL uses compound interest to potentially generate large amounts of non-taxable cash value within the policy. Do you have that policy, right? Do you have that policy? If not, you need to have it. Today is the day. The cash value can be accessed later in life to fund a happy, healthy, non-taxable retirement. I cannot stress this enough. When this information was introduced to me, I was blown away. I was like, are you telling me there's such information? How come I missed this? So, and this is why I take this very, very seriously to educate other people, because I know majority of us have been left behind. We talked about court probate. What account do you have that bypasses probate? Guys, this is very, very valid information that we need to have. So what is probate court? Remember when I said in the beginning of the presentation that this country is based on systems? So probate court is a system that handles the legal process of, distribution of a deceased person's assets. They have to make sure if the person is deceased, the person dies, whatever money you had, okay, or where you were putting money, if it's going to be affected by the probate, trust me, they will have to do their thorough job to make sure that bills that you left behind has to be paid. And this is the reason why we see a lot of people in our community doing what? Starting GoFundMe. Over 10,000 people start GoFundMe every day. Why? Because they did not have an idea that where the buckets they're using, the vehicles they're using to put their money, one day when they're not here, their accounts will be affected by probate. Remember? Now it will be the government that will have to make those decisions, the distributions. How is this going to work? Or today would be the time where you can make that decision to grow your money or put the money in a vehicle that nobody has any right other than the beneficiaries to touch that money. We want to deviate from this GoFundMe. We don't want to be a statistic anymore. How is that going to happen? The information that we're receiving today has to be applied. The knowledge that we are learning here from this meeting tonight has to be applied. Otherwise, it's not good. It's not going to help us, right? So, and these are just, the accounts that, we use, majority of us, and then depending which one you're using, ask yourself or ask the person really that invited you, is this account that I'm using going to be affected by court probate one day? Because it's important for us to know. It's very important, right? You can see it for yourself here, that majority of this has all the excess, meaning they will be affected by court probate. Only 2 accounts, the life insurance and the index annuities. This is the only accounts that will bypass court probate. And this are the accounts that family B has been using. to protect their assets. The financial portfolios, you can identify these ones and which ones you use, right? 401ks for your retirement, the, IRA. Some people are putting money in the stocks, Bitcoin, annuities, life insurance. Like I said, those are the only great accounts I would recommend here tonight. And also, let's talk about life insurance and living benefits versus disability, because majority of us think, well, we do have life insurance through work. I have a disability insurance through work. But what is that really? What is disability insurance? It's a temporal coverage. We all have to know that. It will cover you for a short term, 3 months, long term, 6 months. Okay, so now, and how is that payment done? 60% of your income will be paid to you. Majority of us, let's be real, we are working more hours because just our regular pay is not enough. That's why we are working overtime hours. That's why we have that second job, third job even. Now imagine you're only getting 60%. And that also might work, for like this beautiful lady over here in crutches, because maybe she had a short-term disability and now she looks like she's getting better and she might be resuming work maybe in the next week or two. What if you are that person who's in that ICU, laying down like that patient you see over there, and then you are not able to work? Because maybe that person, is diagnosed with a very, let me just say stage 4 cancer. You're not going to be able to go to work. Even that 3 or 6 months will come and go. What happens then? One, you're going to lose your job. If you lose your job, there's no income coming in and also no health insurance. What is your plan? Here with this policy that we are talking about, you will be given some money if something like this happens, because that's the great benefit that it comes with, right? So I want to just let you know that, we have this critical illness rider benefit structure here, right? You can see all those illnesses listed on there. Should you be diagnosed with any of those and you cannot or unable to, perform 2 of these activities of daily living out of these 6, that you are paid up to 100%, 90%, 80%, depending on the severity of the illness. That is a plan that we all have to have, because we have seen a lot of families get affected when a critical illness or death happens. Do you have such an account that you don't have to worry if illness, happens in your household? If you are the one to be diagnosed like that, do you have a plan that you can rest assured your family will continue to you can pay the bills, buy food for the kids, continue to, offer or give your family that kind of a lifestyle? That is the information that I had for you here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And Kobe says to us, the biggest mistake that we make in life is thinking we have time. Just like this information I shared with you tonight. People say, oh, well, I'm going to act upon it. My plate is full. I'll do it maybe next month when I pay my bills. The time is now. We make that mistake that we have time. We don't have time. Please do yourselves a favor and sit down with the person that invited you to understand more and what you need to do. We are here to serve. We are here to help our community. We are here to impact our community and create awareness. That is the mission that we have. Thank you so very much for listening to me. And I give back the mic to Diogen. Over to you. Thank you so very much.
What an amazing information. Wow. Wow. Guys, are you excited? Do you feel empowered tonight? Type the number 1 yes, or type the word yes if you feel empowered, or type 1 if you feel empowered. Normally they say, 1 equal yes, right? So I'm excited. I see everybody's empowered tonight. Thank you so much for sharing, Patricia. Let me just say that this is a free financial education. This is free information you just received, right? If you are in Canada, she talked about Index Universal Life. If you're in Canada, it may have a different name, right? It may be called a whole life policy, it may be called a universal life. You just need to sit down with a financial professional to do an expert financial analysis to determine what is the plan will work best for you. That's all. And so you can be on the journey or on the line of the people who want to be in the family to be successful. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Executive Director Patricia. So Tom, I think now it's the time that we invite over our keynote speaker tonight. And I want to just say something. This individual has impacted 1,000 of people. He's a senior executive or senior national executive director with our platform. And I want to ask you a question. Do you want to become financial free when it comes to career-wise? Are you looking to elevate your career? Are you looking to make extra money without going to work extra shift or extra hours? Do you want to start your own business? This is the time. Do not log off. So I think you feel the same way, Tom, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. All right. So let's be a pleasure to welcome our Senior National Executive Director, Darren Golka. Welcome. We are happy to have you tonight. We are so excited. We've been waiting for this day. Please take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And congratulations for being here. You know, it's interesting, Patricia, you did such a great job, and Dios and Tom for helping kind of MC tonight. And, you know, folks, I mean, if all of us could get this information at a younger age, when we first come out of college or school or even high school, going into the trades or whatever it is that, you know, you're and for my family immigrating into Canada, we were all immigrants coming from Ukraine and Poland, and our family immigrated from the US up into Canada and start working hard. My mom and dad never got this education. Patricia, you'd be interested to know that my very first product was that same product, but in Canada.
Wow.
And I can tell you, I used that product to help me buy an asset. I bought some farmland, which we did very well financially by buying some land. I used part of that. I borrowed against it to take and invest more. I also used it when I was in trouble financially. So it saved my life in many ways. And it's such a powerful vehicle. But I have to tell you, for my American friends here, the product you have in America is miles ahead of ours in Canada. We are still living a bit in the Stone Ages here. You have no downside risk protection. Like, you have that built in. We don't. And it's still a great product in Canada because you can build it tax-free, shelter it, keep growing it, use it when you need it, protect your family. If God forbid you passed early, it protects you there. Like, there's so many benefits to it. I would tell you that, you know, this information tonight is game changing for your family. If you did nothing else but just investigated this deeper and sat down with the person who invited you and found out more info. And there's so many ways to structure this. You can do it big, you can do it smaller, you can start one now, add another one later. Like, it's so flexible. It's such a powerful product in our arsenal. So what I want to share with you a little bit is just quickly, you know, and you can just think about this or nod or say yes in the chat box. How many families out there do you feel would probably benefit from better financial information or knowledge like you just got tonight? Just type yes in the chat box if you feel that people would be better off if they got this kind of financial education on a weekly, monthly basis. There we go. Yeah, so many people say yes, 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 yes. So I want to share with you what happened to me. 20 years ago, somebody told me that this information could possibly change your life and help your family. But also, if you like this information and you apply it for yourself, and then it's working for you, then you could share the same information with other people and actually earn income by sharing good information that you're already taking advantage of. And I said, that sounds good to me, because I can't suggest or recommend something I don't believe in. Like, how many of you have ever recommended a nice restaurant to your friends or family? A good price, good food, within the budget, right? How many of you recommended, you know, a great movie? When I saw Top Gun 2, I was like, oh my goodness, Tom Cruise is at it again, you know? He really did a good movie. Like I was so happy it was a good movie. So I'm like, oh, don't ruin the Top Gun, and brand by a terrible second sequel. I was like, thank goodness. Now they got a Top Gun 3 coming out. I think it's going to be the Fast, what's that? The Fast series, what they call it? That whole series, what's it called? Fast and Furious. They had 9 movies after that. What a crazy franchise, right? So I want to share with you what got me excited because I was so impressed with the information I'd received. I was like, man, everyone in my family needs to hear this. Whether they do something or not, that's not my choice. That's their choice. So I found a way to just politely show this to people, let them know what was going on. I invited them to presentations just like this. I said, listen, I said, I ain't selling nothing. Just come and take a look. And you tell me if this is valuable or not. And, I had so many people that said, Darren, thank you so much for showing this to me. And not only is my family going to take advantage of this information, but I know so many other people, and I could just refer them, make a little bit of referral income, but I could maybe go out and actually do this and make a lot of good income. So I want to just share with you a little bit of why we are attracting so many great people to this wonderful industry, and a little bit about our story here, and kind of talk about an opportunity. So many times in our lives, we get someone knocks on the door and shows us something great, and we're busy. Kids are busy. Life is busy. Our faith, our family, school, PTA, things you're involved with, charities, community events. And it's like, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I'm too busy. If you keep saying you're too busy your whole life, you'll keep missing these amazing opportunities. And so one of the things I tell people is, why does anybody consider maybe adding something on to what they're already doing, or maybe doing something part-time? We call this the side hustle, or the protection plan, or the backup plan, right? Because who knows when the next pandemic or whatever's going to hit our world. They're already talking about another outbreak and all this scarcity things that are going on in our minds. But for a lot of people, they always wish they could do things like, maybe it's to have a nicer home for your family. Maybe it's that fancy car that you enjoy, would love to drive. What inspires people to do something different? Maybe it's that, a nice vacation. Maybe it's some toys and some fun things you get to do. For some people, it might be like me, paying off my debt. When I first saw this industry, I was in trouble financially. I don't know, maybe some of you can relate. Or maybe it's none of you here. You've never had this problem. I had racked up $116,000 of credit card debt, mostly, and a bit of line of credit debt. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a crazy amount of debt. And so my very first priority financially was to get that debt paid off. We were able to do that not just by products and services, but by this great industry. So if you want a big family, a small family, you want to help your family, or maybe take care of your own children and put them through college or school, this business could do that. So what we're seeing right now is people are really striving to get more freedom. Why do you work a second job, a third job, or work extra hours, or go back to university or college or school to get a better degree? Because you want to make more income to better provide for your family and maybe one day be free. And so freedom is a challenge today, because unless you have a way to make really good money without putting in a lot of time, it's kind of like the rat race of Robert Kiyosaki, where you're just working like lots of hours for 15, 20 bucks an hour, but you're really not getting wealthy doing that, but it's helping to pay the bills. What if you had the opportunity to go help some families on a simple basis, 4 or 6 hours a week, and make 2, 3, 4 grand extra a month? That's kind of more game-changing income. So our industry happens to be one of the highest paying industries in the world. And that's pretty amazing. Like if you want to go be a realtor today, it's 7, 8 grand for the course and $50,000 of advertising expense. You need to put your name on billboards and park benches and, around your community, and hand out flyers and calendars and, fridge magnets. Now these dang fridges, they're not even metal anymore. The fridge magnets don't work, right? So they don't even hand them out anymore. But what if you could make an extra $1,000 a month? Would that make a difference in your family? What if that took you a couple hours in a week? See, that's game-changing income. I always say, well, what if it took you 5 hours to make $1,000? Well, that's, a significant difference. That's $200 an hour. That is our industry, by the way, folks. It's a very unique industry. We deal with, by the way, billion-dollar companies that Patricia was explaining. Those billion-dollar companies know the value of money. They're very happy giving us $1,000 up front when someone only simply puts a small plan in place like we're talking about tonight. And so that's a kind of a game-changing situation. So people always say, well, Darren, what does it look like then? Okay, like if I was to take advantage of these products and I like them and they're working for me and I was to recommend them, well, what could I maybe make? Well, here's a very small program. This is actually way less. It's about double this, but I wanted to be realistic with you tonight because you may have been to, see a presentation. They promise you the moon, the sun, the stars, but I want to just share with you very simply at a very simple basic level. If you just put one of these simple programs in place, you can make anywhere between $800 and $1,400, and that's going to take you maybe 2 to 4 hours to do that. So people are like, okay, well, geez, that's pretty good because that's not a lot of time. Gosh, at $20 an hour, I'd have to work 40, 50 hours to make that. I'm like, I know. That's what's kind of crazy about our industry. And once people kind of catch on to our industry, it's like, wow, like there's so much more to this industry than just this one product, but this is one of our flagship products. But what if I helped one simple family a week and did that for the rest of the month? Well, if you look at this kind of an income, all of a sudden people look at this income, they're like, yeah, this is crazy. Like, do you know I work my butt off to make that kind of money right now in my job? And that's full-time hours, 30 to 45 hours a week. I'm like, I know. And so you're telling me that if I just helped with one basic program, just help one person a week, and I did that for 4 weeks in a row, that this is the kind of money I can make. I'm like, yep. And here's the best part. Each of these contract levels is up to you to be promoted. It doesn't matter what background, what your education level is, where you came from, what side of the street you live on, how big's your home today, how much money you have in the bank. If you do the work here, we promote you. So I call it equal opportunity for everybody. And so when I got in this industry, I was lucky to get in the industry because I had that credit card debt. So if you look at this and you think to yourself, people always say, well, Darren, I might look at this, but can I really make that kind of money? So we teach people on a part-time basis, start making $2-3 grand a month on a part-time basis, helping 2-3 families in a month. You're going to have trainers with you every step of the way, earning while you're learning, and kind of going at your own pace. So when I was looking at this, I was running a full-time franchise. It was actually losing money, so I was going nowhere fast. So I thought to myself, you know what? If I could just make a bit of money, keep my franchise going, maybe one day just kind of get it making some money. I could properly sell it to somebody that wants to take it over, maybe run it better than I was running it. But maybe if I could do that, make part-time money, I could save my franchise. That's exactly what happened, folks. So what happened to me was very soon, I had families referring me to other families. I had people saying, Darren, this looks amazing. Can I do this with you? And can I work with you? Can you train me how to do this? And so I started building a small agency. And so we have this step-by-step process. We have a system to help you graduate from part-time into full-time. And then the greatest opportunity is to be a business owner. We talked about that in the beginning. I know Dios mentioned that. By being a business owner, Jim Rohn says it best. He says, wages will pay the bills, but a business can earn you a fortune. Almost all successful business owners I know built the business because it has a system, and they can take time off, go away with their family, and the business keeps running with or without you. So we have that system in our firm. And so if you're looking to make, maybe a 6-figure income and beyond, we have now helped hundreds and hundreds of our agents start on this process from graduating from part-time to full-time to agency owner. Honestly, if you could put your family in a position to now own a business in one of the most powerful, high-paid industries in the world, what would that mean for you? Right? That would mean so much more. So, a lot of these people here, and I apologize too, because a lot of our leaders here are pictures will be up here as well. This is one of the slideshows that I use in my own presentations in Canada. So we don't have all the agents on here, but look at the backgrounds of all these people. There is no rhyme or reason why you can't do this. Look at this: ballroom dancer, forklift operator, transit operator, police force, dojo owner, a nurse. If you look at all the folks here, you look at all kinds of backgrounds, folks. So it's nice to know that we can do this. And there's so many other perks and benefits to our company. How many of you are getting shares in your current job or career right now, in your own company right now, in the current company you work for? If you're not getting shares, would you like to get shares? The answer is always yes, every single time. So we have a share ownership program in our company. I have helped now over 85 people get shares of this amazing company that's going on to become a billion-dollar giant in our industry because of the wonderful people you already heard from tonight and many, many more people from all walks of life, all different countries, capturing the timing of this amazing, amazing opportunity. Now, this may not be for you, and that's okay. You might know somebody in your family that is for. So it's okay if it's not for you. Don't feel bad. Don't feel embarrassed that, oh, it's not for me. I really love what I'm doing. Take advantage of the great information that Patricia and the team share with you tonight and put that to use with your family. So in wrapping up, I'll say this, a lot of people say, Darren, this looks amazing. It truly does. And I want to really find out more about this program, this IUL concept, like how I can become like the wealthy and not maybe live my life kind of on the A side. I could be the B person where I could get ahead financially. So here's what we will promise you. We'll teach you the financial knowledge. So don't worry about that. We're going to teach you how to talk about this and how to market yourself. That's the biggest thing. What do I say? How do I say it? What would I even start with? We teach you all that and we don't leave you by yourself. So imagine this. Imagine being able to have all of this at your fingertips. We have 24/7 video library, weekly trainings, weekly content. I'm literally leaving this presentation and jumping to another meeting right after this, right beside you, right beside us, into another room here, and I'm doing some more training of it. This is how I learned the business. So imagine having somebody side by side with you. That's why, by the way, we don't need you to be, super knowledgeable, come from a financial background. I had zero of this. So I was able to learn all this stuff on my through the training and through the online courses. So we teach all this. So in ending tonight, I would just say this. If you look at where you're at today and you kind of look around at people in your current job or current profession, and you're looking around and they're not making the kind of money you'd like to make, then chances are it's probably not going to be possible in that current lifestyle or career you're in. So you might want to look at making a change. So I looked around my franchise business. I didn't see anybody. I was running one of those Jugo Jamba juices in Canada. It was called Booster Juice. And we were running that store. And I saw nobody making $250,000 from that franchise. So I was like, oh my gosh, I just wasted all my money. So I said to myself, maybe I got to make a decision here, an important one for my life and for my future. I can just continue as is and just kind of give up my goals and dreams, or I could challenge myself to grow and make a change. And I am so thankful. I can tell you, as God's my witness, that we were so blessed to make that decision 20 years ago and jump in this industry. And we've never looked back. And I can tell you that whether you want to make big money or a little money or, millions of dollars, the sky's the limit. But you need to decide with the person invited you tonight, kind of where you want to be and maybe where you want to fit here. So I would encourage you to do one of two things tonight. Definitely find out more about the wealth principles you learned this evening and how it could apply in your situation. Here's the one challenge, though. You have to qualify. It's not just you can just get it right away. You have to qualify. So they have to sit down, go through some information, make sure you do qualify. And then the second thing is maybe this opportunity might be something for you. And that might be a life-changing decision, as it was for many of us. And for me and my wife, Stephanie, she's just over here beside me. For us, it was a life-changing decision. And the last 20 years has been a true blessing, folks. I'm telling you, when you don't have to worry if money's going to come in or not, and money's coming in residually, whether you're working or not, that's a complete game changer. So with that, I want to turn it back to the great folks here. And Patricia, I'm just so honored to be with you tonight. Thank you so much for this wonderful invitation to all these amazing people this evening. And so many great people here that you all get to benefit from. Please take advantage of the opportunity to learn from all these wonderful folks tonight and soak it up, learn it. And please, if you do anything, please put your family in a better financial position starting today or tomorrow. And then always focus on helping your family become stronger. I see so many of us, we go to these sporting events and we have the jerseys on our back. And we have someone else's name on the back of our jersey. Why not put Dowie or Sorete or Sims or Beje or Amos or Nikindi or DePrince or, MacD or whatever your last name is, Muniz, put that on your back and be there for your family. And your family can look at you and go, man, that decision you made 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, completely changed the course of our family's name by those simple decisions you made and by getting into this industry. So with that, Patricia and Dios, Tom, I turn it back to you folks. And thank you so much for having me. I'll jump out and jump into my other meeting, but enjoy tonight and enjoy all the opportunity to grow and gain this wonderful knowledge, folks. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so very much, Darren. You know, we are really honored to have you here and impact our community. And of course, this is just the beginning. This is a platform where we are going to get to that mountaintop. We are here to win. And as a whole, you know, we're doing this together. So thank you so very much for actually honoring our invitation here. Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.
Before you go there, and I see that you still got a couple minutes. So I know some people have questions, but this is not the last time you come to our house here. We would love to have you maybe next time for Q&A session. But we thank you so much for honoring this invitation. We know you are very busy, but thank you and God bless you. So guys, do not leave. We still got a couple minutes left. And then let's let our keynote speaker go. But thank you so much on behalf of the whole team, Trusted Future. We appreciate you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yes.
You know, this is such an exciting team. This team right here, what you are doing in your communities for families, for people in your states, your counties, your cities is truly a blessing, guys. You know, so many families right now are kind of struggling. They're trying to find their way, and you have literally a Swiss Army knife in your arsenal that can do so many things to help them get financially successful. You just got to make sure you can, you know, sit down with them and put it in place for them, but show them the way, folks. So many people just want to be shown the way to create wealth for their family. And we've got these tools, and you all have such amazing leadership in this organization to help you achieve and do that. And it's so exciting seeing so many people right now hitting those $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month and hitting $10,000 a month and getting their six figures and going on some trips. And it's so neat to see. And I just love that. I love the human endeavor where you can become more than you are and achieve more than you maybe thought possible. But when someone is kind of supporting you and encouraging you, it gives you some extra strength. It's like the power of faith. It's like the power of commitment. When you have that in your power, then you can plow through sometimes what seems like a brick wall. And so I would turn it back to you guys and just know you're in great, great hands. And I look forward to the next time we meet.
Wow.
Well,
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you, Darren. Have a great evening.
Yes.
So much. Thank you.
All right, guys, do not get off yet. Do not get off yet. We still got a couple minutes, but yeah, it's almost time. But we want to thank you, everybody. For those who have questions, for those who, I want to see the people who joined for the first time. Can you type number 1 in the chat if you are here for the first time? We want to see those people. We want to thank you for coming. Yes, Serena, thank you. Corinne, Priscilla, Gottlieb, thank you. Thank you so much. Everybody keep typing. So you have 3 things to do. You have either, you can do one of these 3 things, right? You can send an email, questions, like the questions you have to this email, trusted.future@gmail.com. Or you can make an appointment with someone who invited you tonight to make a follow-up appointment. Or you can text me. This is my personal number, your name, and the name of who invited you. Then I'll coordinate that meeting and will be there to guide you. Those are your homework for tonight because, guys, there are choices here. You can decide to change your future by owning those accounts. Most of us who are here have those accounts. You can decide to make a career, start your own business by doing what we do. Get your license, your state license or your provincial license if you're in Canada, and then help more people, like Darren said. So those are options you have. Again, we thank everyone. Tom and Patricia, if you have a few words to close out. And yeah, this was a great session.
Well, guys, that was pretty amazing. What I want to say, so you know, we've been given a chance here to take control of our financial future, whether it's protecting your family, growing your wealth or creating a solid foundation for generations to come. You know, it's time to act. You know, that's something Patricia said. It takes action. So you actually have to do something to do it. You know, so none of us are here to get none of us are here forever. But the decisions that we make today can definitely ensure that our families will continue to thrive and long after we're gone. So just take that to heart and reach out to whoever invited you and ask you questions. And yeah.
Wow.
Patricia, you got something?
No, nothing much really. I mean, everything has been said. I just want to say thank you to everyone that joined. I know a few people have already left, but you know, we were honored to have you here, and we hope that the information that we shared here tonight, that you know, impacted you in a positive way, that you would want to make you know, some changes in your life to secure your future. And also, I just want to say thank you to all the champions here, all the leaders here, for really diligently working together to make this a success meeting tonight. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. Doing it together, working together, and together we win. Thank you, guys.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Every individual, those who are licensed, maybe you are studying, but you have invited somebody because you have changed one life or many lives tonight. So thank you. We appreciate you. The work you did to make this session amazing, as you saw. So let's keep doing what we're doing. This is not just the last time we're here. We always gather every Tuesday, same time. We start at 7 p.m. Central Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we finish with 1 hour only, and that's it. 1 hour of your time. Okay? All right. We thank everybody, and we see you next time. Do those three things or one of those three things that I said above, and then your life will not be the same. Thanks, everyone, and you have a blessed night. Like I always say, God bless you all. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Everyone. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye now.
Thank you. Good night.